Hello, my friends. I'm Debbie Mondale. I'm the Kindermusik teacher here in Lakeland with my business, Music Connections, because I believe music connects us in so many ways. Recently, we've been focusing on our social emotional development with our little ones. And of course, Kindermusik is all the way from infants up to about 6 to 7 years old. And the music can help in so many different ways, but there's other videos on that. Today, why I'm approaching you with this video is because one of the parents asked, how can a grandparent who is far away be able to connect virtually with a child that they have in their home? And it's a toddler. Like, toddlers are so busy and they're such active little explorers, and they really have so many different things to do. Sitting down and actually focusing on a screen can be a real challenge for them. They might just be wandering off, or, grandparents can be talking to them and like they're not making eye contact. So I wanted to make sure, it's not like I've been great at this, but I have definitely developed some ideas and some skills over the last, since March, about connecting virtually with children, because that's what we've had to do in order to be safe. I do have virtual classes that meet regularly, not during Thanksgiving, but we are going to have we're going to continue to do virtual for a while, because there's some people that still need to remain safe in a different place, and we are having a blast connecting online. I would love to share more about how that's working, but I think that you'll kind of get an idea as I'm talking about this. This particular video is about setting up for success and a few ideas for building a short ritual, including the hello and the goodbyes. So let me kind of just go ahead and get started. I want to share a PowerPoint presentation with you so you can see some of the things that we're doing. You can see how there is a parent sitting with the child, and that there is the computer screen just right here. This may or may not work for your child, because they might want to touch the buttons. You might want to have it up a little bit higher or pushed back a little bit farther, so that so they're not as tempted to be able to touch the buttons on the screen, or cover up the buttons with something that might work for you. So let me just kind of go on to some of the other wonderful things that we have to share. We want to set up multiple things for success, and setting up our system for success is one of the very first things. The ones that I have found most effective in being able to do a face-to-face virtual call is being able to do FaceTime if you have Apple, or Google Duo if you have any kind of Android device. Facebook Messenger works on any of the devices, and of course Zoom works on any of the devices, and is what we use for Kindermusik, and is what I am using to record this for you. I would love to be able to talk with you more about that, or what those differences are, but the real focus that I have today is that you want to make sure to set it up so that you can see and hear each other very well. You will want to choose a place where the light is coming toward your face. Like if you're sitting in a big window, you have the computer or your screen there set up so you can use your hands. You want to make sure you use your hands and not just be holding on to the device. I got some ideas for you on that too. And then you want to have it placed just at eye level or a little bit above eye level. One of the reasons is if you keep it in your hands, you're looking down, and the children can't see your eyes very well. And so you want to be able to set it up just a little bit higher so that you're looking up and the children can see your eyes. That's really, the eye contact is one of the things that's most effective. As a matter of fact, I actually I'll show you a little sticky note that has an eye on it. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it has an eye drawn on it. And I put it right over my camera so that it can show where I need to look. That's because, if the child is down here, you might be tempted to look at the child, but they do not see your eyes as well as when you look directly into the camera. You want to also check out test your microphone and your camera to make sure that you're being seen and heard with the person that you're calling before the child is involved in the situation, because that way they don't have to worry about any tech things and you can totally focus on them once they get there. Some people might be tempted to be able to use a big screen so that the person looks bigger, and in some cases that might work, but when you're trying to really interact and get eye contact, if a child is looking at the big screen instead of the camera or close to the camera, then it's much harder to be able to make that true emotional connection and social connection with them. So that's a couple of the things to set up the devices. Now you want to make sure and set up the moment for success. You want to make sure it's planning for the best time for the child, whether it's after breakfast in the morning, during lunch, or maybe at bedtime. Those are some ideas on when to set up a good time for them. You want to, so that they're not tired and they're not hungry. You want to reduce or eliminate any background noise, turn off any television at the background. If there's dogs that are going to be continually barking, make sure that they get to be put in a place where they're not going to be disruptive. Any other things that you can think of to just reduce the background noise or sounds, or else that will be distracting for the children, and they're distracted in their head enough. We don't need to add to those distractions. We want to make sure and keep a calm voice, not loud. Sometimes when we're talking into a device, we might feel like it needs to talk a little bit louder so that we can make sure that the other person can hear. But if you could hear when I'm talking this way, my voice is a little bit strained, and it is not going to help to calm the child and keep them at their best level. So when we calm our voices down and we just use our authentic voices and we are using a calming voice, then that child can feel the calm sense that you have, and they don't feel the urgency that's created by a louder voice. And hopefully the microphone can be adjusted on each person's end so that you can hear each other. It is very difficult for children to be heard sometimes because they're so quiet. So you might want to turn up your volume a little bit so that you can hear what they have to say, if they're going to talk at all, or coo, or whatever sounds that they're going to make for you. You want to make sure and plan to play. The better you plan and you know what you're going to be doing, and you are making sure to do it in a playful way that's going to engage the children, the planning for it and making sure that you know that you want to make sure to add the element of playfulness, because it's one of our elements of connection. You want to make sure that the child is identified a spot where they can sit, whether it's a blanket or a pillow or a hoop. They know that that's where they can be, where they can see you and you can see them. Because if they don't, then they're going to be wandering off and you might not be able to see them. So if they have an identified spot, it could be just even a favorite big puffy pillow that they can sit on, or a favorite blanket. Or it could be the comfy lap of their parent. I totally recommend having a parent or a partner support with the child because that person is going to help them to make sure that they can hear what you have to say, or repeat questions that you might have for them, encourage them to be able to talk by using gestures. You're not going to really focus on engaging with that other person, whether it's the parent or an older sibling or a nanny. Whoever is there with them is not there to have a conversation with you. They're only there to support that child in really connecting with you when you're doing a virtual video call. So that is some key factors. You want to make sure and set up the routine for success. So what you're doing during the time that you're on with them. You want to make sure it's a routine so they know what to expect. What's going to happen when they first get on? What's going to happen when they leave? Those are your most important routines. And then, of course, you can add a few more things in between. You can see I have those shown in pink. But the most important things are to be able to get the hello routine, because you can just say hi and continue to wave, or you can add something fun and playful to be able to make it, as soon as they get on, they know they're going to be excited about doing a hello activity with you. It could be a rhyme, it could be a song. I've got some ideas for you, but you want to make sure to set up the goodbye routine right off the bat as well. So your first calls that you two together might just be the hello song, a peekaboo activity, and then the goodbye song. And that will make it so that they are learning what the process is, because peekaboo's always fun. But the process is, at the end, we know that when you say something certain and you sing a certain song, then it's time to go. So that even if they're starting to get antsy, then when you say, oh, it's time for us to do our goodbye, then they'll go, oh, I know what to expect, and then I'll be able to go and move. So that helps you to be able to respond to their needs when you're setting this up. And once you have this small routine in place, then you can be able to add some more things, fill in more playful activities in the center based on what their activity level can be. I hope that helps make sense. These are some things that you really want to make sure that you're doing while you and the child are on there. This is the 4 elements of connection. These are based on Becky Bailey's Conscious Discipline. You can find them at consciousdiscipline.com. I actually hand these out as a bookmark in my classes, but the real aspect of this is that if we can just take a few moments and really get these in place, then it is going to make those positive connections with the child, even if it's for a few moments. And the more positive connections that we have, we can build a relationship on that. And that will influence how they can relate to other people in the future. But those elements of connection are 4 things. Your presence, full presence, no distractions. You're going to not talk to anybody or think of anything else. You're just going to focus on the child, watch what they're doing, describe what they're doing, be present with them, because children don't have a lot of that. A lot of times they're moving around and they're talked to in the second person, or they're yelled at to come here, but they really thrive on the moments that adults and older siblings can really focus on being present with them. Making eye contact, that's number 2, but it's part of being present. Making eye contact, looking in their eyes and making sure that you can see how they're feeling. You're looking more than just their eyes. You're looking at how they're feeling and how they're communicating through their eyes, and then also through their facial expressions and their body language. But that eye contact is critical to be able to keep them engaged and to feel valued. Playfulness. Our positive emotions are what spark the dopamine in our brain that gives us that feeling that we want to do this again. So the more playful we are, this is the American Sign Language for playful, the more playful we are, the more they're going to want to engage with us at this moment and engage with us again in the future, and maybe even for longer the next time, depending on how they're feeling about it. Now, the last element of connection is touch. We cannot touch when we are separated by space. We do not have the ability to be able to touch through a screen at this point in time. But what we can do is have a partner to be able to help provide the touch. So for example, if the child is sitting on someone's lap, they are feeling the touch, even though they're interacting with you. And so if you reach out your arms to give them a hug, and the person whose lap they're sitting on gives them a hug, they can totally feel it. Even if it's not from you, they can totally feel it. And being able to do finger play. So you might be using your fingers to touch your other fingers, but that person is going to be holding the child's hand while they touch their own fingers, or you can touch, or they'll touch their child's fingers if you're doing a finger play. I think you get the idea of how that goes. And if you're doing a lap bounce activity, you can't have them on your lap, but you can be singing the lap song and being able to indicate what to do next, but the person whose lap they're sitting on will be able to do the lap bounce while you are doing the singing. And of course, they can be singing along, but the real focus on is the connection that you're making here, and that person is just supporting it. Another idea, once they get into the age where they can really relate to stuffed animals, especially bears, is to be able to have each of you have your own bear, teddy bear or polar bear, whatever kind of bear that you have. But that way, when you hug that bear, the child hugs that bear. Just some thoughts on how to be able to get around that idea, not get around it, but to fulfill that need for touch that children have. So that is really, I think, important. Let's go on and talk about some of the things. You might already have a hello song that you do, but you might not. I want to just introduce one song that might be familiar to you, the Frère Jacques song. Frère Jacques, Frère Jacques. You might have grown up with that. We're just going to change the words to go along with that to be able to do an action while you're singing names. It's really important to be able to get them involved in moving, because the more they're moving with you in coordination, the more they're feeling connected with you. The more you use their name and the names of the people that are involved, the more they're going to feel connected. So I pulled out this song, and we're going to use the action of wave to begin with, and make sure to use their name first, whoever their partner is, and also to you. They want them to sing hello to you, and we're putting you last in the list of songs so that their brain is processing, okay, first we're going to wave. We're waving. Somebody's waving to me. Somebody's waving to someone else. Oh, okay, now I'm waving because my brain has had time to process. Children's brains take at least eight times longer to process what they're supposed to do in response to a request or an activity. And so we just kind of have to wait for them. Sometimes they'll end up waving at the end of the song. It's okay. Sing the song again while they're waving. So I'll sing it for you, and we'll kind of go over that. Wave to Emma, wave to Emma, wave to Dad, wave to Dad, wave hello to Grandma, wave hello to Grandma, wave, 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 wave. You'll notice on my song, I have blow a kiss down on here. That's if they're getting the waving prospect in there. If they're very young or not actively doing the waving yet, then you want to just continue to say wave. But if they're already waving, you might add that other factor of another action in, like blow a kiss. Blow a kiss, blow a kiss. Because there's a lot of children who might not wave, but they might blow a kiss. So, or you can ask the child, what would they like to do to say hello? Do they want to peekaboo? You could do peekaboo, Emma, peekaboo, Emma. Or they might want to jump. You can ask them. They might not be able to answer you with words, but they might be able to show an action. You might give them some choices. Would you like to wiggle, or would you like to sway? How would you like to be able to do it? Or give some, if they are up and moving around, you might give them other actions. Would you like to jump, or would you like to bounce? How would you like to sing hello? And then give them a choice. They might not be able to tell you, but they might show you with their actions what they might like to do. Some of my children will start doing like this, and I know that they want to swing for the hello song, because that's one of the things that we do for every Kindermusik class, is that we have a ritual hello song and give them a choice to be able to make a choice of action, and we sing to their name, because that's how they become to feel included in and to be able to be valued. So there is the hello song. You might want to do a peekaboo activity. I'm going to try to make this short with your routine of what you would do if you're doing a very short activity with video phone call with a child. So peekaboo is always a hit, and you can do peekaboo a variety of different ways when you're in a virtual situation. Of course, you might be able to just cover your face and peekaboo, of course, which is what we normally do. You might also have a blanket or a scarf, and you can peek out from under the scarf. Make sure that the light still hits your face, because it's really important to be able to see the light. Or you can just remove the scarf altogether. You can also just take yourself off screen. Ha! Or below. How can you disappear for them that will get their attention? You might want to do it all of those different ways. We'll go ahead and use the scarf for this one. And you just cover up. And you can even have them cover up as well and say, oh, let's hide. Let's hide. Where did we go? We're going to sing first to Grandma. If they're not hiding, you can sing for you. And if they are hiding, then you can sing for them. But let's say that they're not covering up and they're just watching, because they really are not quite sure what to do yet, because you're still building this as a routine. So you can sing, where is Grandma? Where is Grandma? Peekaboo, peekaboo. Grandma loves to see you. Grandma loves to see you. Hide away, hide away. Uh-oh, where'd Grandma go? Oh, there you are. Oh, where is Grandma? I see you. So you can continue the activity. Of course, if you're off screen and you can see that they've covered up with a scarf and that they're actually hiding, then you would totally switch that and say, oh, where is Emma? Where is Emma? Peekaboo. Oh, where are you? If they haven't taken the scarf off, don't say peekaboo. So say, where is Emma? Where is Emma? Where'd she go? Where'd she go? I'm waiting here to see her. Where I see her. Where'd she go? Where'd she go? They might still be under the scarf. It's okay. Keep singing until they peek out. It's okay if it takes a long time. As long as they're there and they're covered up and they're giggling, they're engaged. And it's just important to be able to wait for them. And as soon as they take off that blanket, you can go, oh, peekaboo, peekaboo. Grandma loves to see you. Grandma loves to see you. Yes, I do. I love you. You just change the words however you want to. The words are not important. The important thing is that a child is able to connect with you. And when they don't see you and they see you again, it re-energizes their ability to have eye contact and connect with you on an emotional basis. So take turns. Make sure that you're taking turns and giving them the opportunity. And they might be really quick. You might just start singing, where is Emma? And it's gone. Just go straight to peekaboo as soon as they say that. Make sure as soon as it seems like make sure just to start a goodbye ritual. And as soon as you've got that goodbye ritual in place, in the future, when it starts to seem that they're not interested anymore, then you can be able to do, or if they're losing interest or you're having a hard time keeping them focused, then just start the goodbye ritual. Because a ritual and a routine are a little bit different. A routine is something that you do regularly, and it's something that they can expect. Okay, when we do this, then we say goodbye and we turn it off and I can go do something else. A ritual is actually something that is part of a routine that you can do at any point in time that you know will emotionally connect with them. For example, I'm not quite sure what song you had with your child or with your parents, but it could be like a song as simple as You Are My Sunshine, that you knew when that song was being sung by whomever that you felt more connected with that person. And that's what a ritual is when you are doing a song or an activity that both of you feel that strong emotion of connection. The chemical in your body that is initiated when you're doing the rituals is called oxytocin, and that's called the love hormone. But when you're doing that, you feel it, that's the chemical that's being set up in your body. A routine is not necessarily developing setting up that oxytocin to be released in the system. But when it's a song that we know that we love, and we're going to do it, and you're going to feel that connection every single time, that's a ritual, and that's when we are being bonded together in a way that it transcends all the rest of life, and can help children to just be more in tune with you and you in tune with them. And when you're that way, then they're more likely to be cooperative. You're not doing it for them to be cooperative, but they are more likely to be cooperative because they know you love them and that you're there for them, and that when they do things for you, you do things for them. It's a mutual beneficial relationship. So for my mom, she would always sing a happy little song called "I Love You, a bushel and a peck, a bushel and a peck, oh, you bet your pretty neck, oh, you bet your pretty neck, you bet your pretty neck I do. I don't know if you know that one, but even when I sing it, I feel connected to my mom even more. You want to make sure to sing their name as often as possible, even if you're just using the soulmate interval. So it goes, goodbye, Emma, goodbye. If you're not having it as part of the song, because you're making sure to use their name and you're speaking directly to them, and that's going to help them feel that connection that you're singing with them. You can also put it in the song, like, you are my Emma, my only Emma, instead of sunshine. And so, or you can sing it twice, sunshine once and Emma on the second time around. But as soon as you get done, you say, goodbye. Or you can even end up with some of the silly things like, see you later, alligator, or after a while, crocodile, don't get hot, cotton pop, or any of those different things. Especially when they get a little bit older, you can kind of throw in those fun things, and then they can have some fun things to share back with you. It adds that element of playfulness. All right, hopefully that was able to really help you to understand some different things. I think I kind of covered the rituals. It helps us to feel safe, loved, and valued, and make sense of their relationships. And not when they have these strong relationships with you in the future, they will know how to be able to have strong relationships, mutually beneficial relationships with other people. Music, of course, is a natural, playful, and joyful activity that help create critical emotional connections. And these playful ways of interacting just frees up the brain from anything that we need, that we're able to get past our survival mode. We don't have to worry about getting ourselves back to a calm state. That these playful interactions really help us to calm down and become and be our best selves. I am going to do another video. I'd love for you to join me. Go and look for that one. This is about conversation connections. And it talks a little, it kind of breaks down more of what we talked about here, as well as kind of getting more into detail and giving you more ideas for what you can do in the in-between ritual parts. But I'll just kind of go over the key factors that I'll cover. Focus on your eye contact. Repeat routines that they can expect. Be present and playful. Do not despair. What you both love, be sure to share. Ask the child for their choice. Set them up to find their voice. I think that kind of just is like a little snapshot of what to remember when you are doing a virtual call with a child that you love that is very young, or lots of different people. It doesn't even have to be a young child. I would say this is relevant for all children, but there is less out there for young children, and I just really wanted to focus on that. I can talk about age-appropriate expectations in a different video, because it's different. What to expect when they're 6 months old versus 12 months old versus 18 months old versus 2 years old versus 2.5 years old. A lot of variance on what you can expect as far as how they're going to respond to you and how you can best interact with them. And I will do that in another video as well. So let me take this off. I just want to say thank you for following along with me today. I hope that this gives you some ideas on how to set yourself up for success in virtual calls with a child. And of course, I'm Debbie Mondale, and I do Kindermusik here in Lakeland, and I hope to be able to interact with you soon, whether it's virtually or in person. Be well.